Do you think it's wrong for men, or do you think men should not have a preference for women to not be promiscuous and have a low body count?
I can speak?
Yeah.
I don't think men should have an opinion.
Oh, you don't think men should have an opinion?
No, like on body count. Like on body count.
Like he's saying a preference, like a guy.
Oh.
So for example, guys typically when they're choosing a woman they want to settle down with, they don't want a chick that has been completely ran through. So he's asking you.
What about
preference.
a man that's ran through?
On,
Why do we only use the
can,
term ran through against women?
Okay, we can get to that later, but let's just first get through the question. So
let's stay on the point.
Yes. So would you have an issue, or do you think it's wrong for a guy to have a preference to date a woman who's not promiscuous and who has a low body count?
Personally, I would prefer if they didn't have that preference, but I know a lot of men do, and I would love to understand why. I've never really had a conversation with a guy of why they feel like men, or why they feel women shouldn't be ran through. So I'd love to hear a male's perspective.
Before we do give our take on this, I do want to give everyone an opportunity to answer before we share. So go ahead.
I think it depends because there's a lot of guys with like really high body count.
Can you tilt the microphone down towards you?
Yeah. Like this one?
Here, pull it from the...
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I think there's a lot of guys that have like really high body count but still will ask for a girl to have like a body count less than 10. It's kind of like hypocrite in a way.
Okay, so we can address the double standard thing, but let's assume that he has a low body count too.
If he does and he's like asking for a girl with low body count, then yes, because that's his preference. But it shouldn't, like, I don't think a woman should be judged over her body count either.
Okay, so the double standard, like if the guy has a high body count, then he shouldn't have.
Yeah, he shouldn't ask for.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Go ahead.
I agree. I don't think it's a man's business to know a woman's body count because either way, women can lie. I don't really think, like you said, that there's signs that a woman has a high body count. I don't think that's true. You roll your eyes at me, but I just think it's funny that you just get so... Okay, I'm not going to say
super chatted $49.99. If a woman is going to have a preference about a man's money, he will have a preference about a woman's body count. This is non-negotiable.
We all have preferences. Thank you for Alvin for the $50 super chat, man. Appreciate all the support. Continue on with your point.
Well, like, am I going to ask a man, oh, what's your body count?
You could.
I know, but I don't care, to be honest. Well,
that is a bit of a difference between men and women, generally speaking.
Yeah,
women care far less about it than men do.
But why is it so important for a woman to have a low body count?
We'll get to that. We'll address that. I just want to give everyone the opportunity to speak. Go ahead.
So I don't think a woman's value is fully defined with their body count. But with that said, I do think a man is entitled to have a preference.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Men are entitled to have their preferences, but with that being said, someone who does have a high body count is then no longer worthy of love.
Carson, can you just close the door? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's fine to have a preference. I don't care what other people's preferences are, but I think just move on to another girl then. There are girls with low body counts if you want them. It's not like they're scarce, like it's possible.
It's pretty scarce, but it's pretty scarce, but go ahead.
You could have your own opinion, but I don't think I would date a guy who would want me to have a low body count. If that's his what's the word, like I must have like a low body count for him to like date me, something like that.
Okay, Natasha?
I would respect if a guy wanted a low body count because I also feel that way towards guys. Like there's a certain threshold that they can have to the point where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be with this person.
Okay, so before me and John come in, most of you said body count shouldn't matter, doesn't matter, whatever. So if body count doesn't matter, if it shouldn't matter, what is your body count? Natasha, we'll start with you.
Wait, you just asked my body count?
Yeah.
I would rather not say.
You've shared it before.
Yeah, but I realized I don't really want to say it again.
Natasha, you're killing me. All right, Cynthia?
I would prefer not to say.
I also prefer not to say.
Just out of respect for my family.
For the family. Who's the gangster who's going to actually come in and share? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would rather not say.
Obviously, I'm not going to say.
One girl starts off with domino effect. Go ahead.
Good.
I won't say. I'm sorry.
I prefer not to say.
Okay, so you refuse to share, yet you think body count doesn't matter. Thus,
Because if I say, I'm going to be judged.
hold on,
no
stop,
matter what number.
stop interrupting. Somewhere,
Martin super chatted 50.
Martin, stop interrupting.
Ladies, this is hurting my brain. Studies have empirically shown that women with higher body counts are far more likely to divorce. The same is not true for men. It's biology. You release oxytocin
During relations, that's the pair bonding hormone. So, deep down, even though you guys say body count doesn't matter, your refusal to share it would indicate to me that it matters. You know it matters, and that's why you refuse to share it.
It doesn't matter to me, but it matters to you guys. So I'm not going to go and put myself out here and say my body count just for you two to ridicule me or say something.
We're not going to ridicule you.
This guy has been saying stuff the whole time. I
don't need your body count to ridicule
called him,
you.
I said he's insecure, and he proceeded to call me a and
Okay,
insult
look,
me.
we've moved on from that.
Let it go. Let it go. It's
I haven't.
over.
He hasn't apologized.
Can I say something? I'm not ashamed of my body count, quote unquote. And if like my potential partner is interested in knowing, I'm not fearful of sharing that with them. But if these people don't need to know, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's none
But
of their
if it didn't matter, then you would just be like, oh, here's my body count.
to
Like,
my
boom, boom.
partner, yes.
Well, no, just outwardly.
general, he's
but
just
you
saying in general.
acknowledge that it is something that maybe not all men, but that some men do care about. And it is also some women would judge you for it too.
True. Yes. That's
Actually, when women have a disagreement with each other, often the first insult that they hurl at the other,
Yeah.
that chick's a slut. That's the first thing they go to, so women will shame women on it too. So
I'd like to back up what she's saying. I feel like a discussion of your body count is a discussion for somebody that you're comfortable with and that you're sleeping with. I'm not sleeping with anybody here, so I'm not going to answer that because I feel like things should be kept private. And you should be, I don't know, like, Brian, are you going to share your body count? Is he going to share his body count?
so-
Why are we only getting asked for our body count?
Well, I can't speak for John. Me personally, I think body count matters, so I'm not going to share my body count because I think it matters. But John, I don't know if you want to share yours.
Do you guys really want to know?
If he shares it, will y'all share it?
No.
One for one?
One for one?
No.
How about you? Since you two have been flirting with each other all night, I'm thinking if he says it, you say it. How about that? Gentleman's agreement.
Fine.
Oh, okay. There we go. John, go ahead.
Ladies first.
11.
Really? Only 11? Really?
Do you think I ran through?
No, I'm just, you know, sounds low. Mine's like 250.
250.
So body count matters to you when it comes to a woman.
Yes.
So, but it's okay for you to have a high body count.
Yeah, kind of like it doesn't, you don't
Then
care.
your opinion is bullshit.
No. Because it's the same thing
Double
for you.
standards.
Same
There's
thing
all
I'm
for
not
you.
kinds
gonna
of-
listen to double standards.
Because you
can
wouldn't
stop.
date a guy shorter than you.
Yeah, but body count. Come on. Anybody
Okay,
can lie about that.
same thing.
Guy can't lie about his height.
You're completely missing the point.
So would you be offended if a woman didn't want to be with you? Your ideal woman didn't want to be with you because of your body count?
No, I mean, if she
Your ideal 10 out of 10 Victoria's Secret model.
So, okay, so let's say my ideal woman, 10 out of 10, does reject me because I have a high body count. What can I do?
Nothing. It's done.
So then you just asked me a question just to like,
But like, would you be like offended by that?
if my ideal woman walked away from me, yes, I would be offended.
So that means that body count does matter.
I just don't understand why it
Well,
matters. Why you can have a high body count, but God forbid the woman that you're seeing has a high body count.
Well, let me finish.
There's a lot of
answering.
differences. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
What are
finish
the
answering.
differences, men and
Hold on.
women?
Well,
Like,
let him
that's
let him
the
address.
difference.
Hold on. Let him
Do you
address
think that,
her
like,
question.
affects, like, how, like, the quality of a relationship you can provide her?
Yeah, for sure.
That your body count does?
On her end, yeah, things will come up.
On her end?
If she has a high body count, yeah, it's like
no,
statistically.
like, if she doesn't and you do you think that, like,
So
should she believe you won't give her a good quality relationship?
she could believe that if she wants to, but I'll demonstrate. I demonstrate in my day-to-day life. Like, I've got my shit together. I've got my shit together at a very high level. So I can operate and manage a relationship, no problem. But what I'm trying to say is that if you look at the empirical data, it does show that high body count negatively affects women way more than it negatively affects men. However, it does negatively affect men. However, the threshold is far higher for men, way higher. But it also lowers relationship satisfaction in men, marriage satisfaction in men, marriage happiness as well. High body count's not good for men or women, but men have a way higher threshold than women.
Infidelity too
Infidelity
is
as
a
well.
higher likelihood for both men and women.
Yeah.
If the body count is higher,
Yeah.
and they've done studies on it. So
I can see the point of, like, why someone would be concerned if they're like dating someone with a high body count, this and that, but it doesn't mean like this person who has a high body count isn't going to settle down and be like the correct partner for somebody.
Yeah, but
Well-
I agree. But also, I will say that I've gone through a lot of therapy. And I've gone through a lot of self work, a lot, because the high body count and people going out there participating in this like casual hookup culture, this stuff, that's typically a symptom of something deeper going on inside of that person, and it's just being acted out. You know what I mean? In a form of like sexual expression. Other people may choose gambling. Other people may choose drugs, food. You know, being addicted to social media, but it's usually due to some unresolved trauma they're carrying around with them.
And you mentioned that just because someone was promiscuous in the past or they have a high body count, but something in psychology, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And this is no less true in the realm of sexual behavior. So a really strong predictor of marital infidelity is one's number of premarital sexual partners. Also, higher chance of STD, higher chance of reporting relationship dissatisfaction, higher chance of infidelity, or I already said that, or infidelity.
Women who sleep around more have less orgasms, have less
Oh.
fulfilling relationships. I mean, there's a book that just came out last year. It's really good. It's called The Molecule of More, and it's talk about dopamine, and they talk about this in depth. Some great studies.
Word. I think you wanted to come in on something.
I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot.
So you were talking a bit about the double standard, right? I think the double standard was the thing that kind of frustrated you a little bit. That it's okay for a man to have a high body count, or it was, if a guy has a high body count, he shouldn't have a preference for a woman with a low body count. Is that kind of a fair assessment of the double standard that you see as wrong, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.